Hello everyone, welcome to Sunday Drive. My name is pangoduck. Sunday Drive, what the heck is that? Well, basically it was going to be a Sunday chill, but then I realised I want to play F1 again. So I haven't had a lot of free time this week, but the free time I have had, I've just wanted to play F1. So here we are. We'll see how it goes. So, Belgium Grand Prix is coming up next week, a week today, Sunday, week today. So I thought, during the week, I decided to do some time trials on Belgium. Here we go. You can see it in the background. And basically just try to learn the track, and we're just practicing. My end goal is to do career mode, my team, create a team, but I can't actually race reliably, without crashing and stuff. So I want to reach a better level first. And I am playing on sim damage, no assists, that's how I want to learn the game, and it is really fun and satisfying. So today, first I'm going to show you a couple of laps from me just doing time trial today to warm up. This is what I was doing. And also just to show the track a bit as well. A bit slow on the gears down there. But yeah, this was me warming up. But the point is, I'm actually okay at doing time trial now. Now, obviously I'm not fast, and I'm using a Williams, which is the worst car. And I take some corners badly. But, I'm not crashing, spinning out, etc. when doing time trial. The problem is that doesn't really translate super well into racing. Because you can't just put your foot down and... a bit wide there. And take the best line and constantly be going as fast as you can in a race. Because there's other cars. And you have to think about overtaking, managing your engine, blah, blah, blah. So, I want to start making the transition into practicing being better at races. So that's the ultimate goal here. So I only did... we purpled Sector 2. Well, it says it's green on the right, but it's purple on the minimap. So yeah, so that's the goal, but I wanted to do a couple of warm-up laps and also just show you a certain deficiency I have, which I think is coming up at the end of this lap. So you can see the ghost of the other player I am a bit behind, but I am ahead of my own personal best ghost at the moment. But I really want to catch that ghost. So... whoops. Yep. Final corner. Trying to push too hard. This is a problem that I have. All the time. Trying to push. Trying to get like a few extra seconds. And the same thing applies in a race. Like trying to overtake. Just trying to go too fast. Not being patient enough. That is definitely a problem that I'm having to face. I'm hoping this video, if you're interested enough to watch it, obviously, will help other people who are kind of new to the game or thinking about playing it as well, in that we can just try and identify what the problems are and focus on things we need to improve on so that we can all actually race. Because that's the most fun part, right? Actually racing, doing a 30-lap Grand Prix or whatever, and not, crashing every 2 laps. So this is the final time trial lap I was going to show you. Just the 2 before we get into the race action. As you can see, it's similar. There's that guy's ghost again. We're about the same distance. We lose a bit of time in this sector to him, although we seem to have just nipped in front now. But those corners on Sector 2 I do struggle with, and I'm going to go a bit wide here as well. But the other day when I was playing, I got quite in the zone, and that is my personal best ghost just there. And that is how it seems to be, and it was the same with the Spanish track as well for me. And I've done a little bit of Australia actually as well. Once you do it for a while, you just start to zone in. You just keep going round, you learn the track, you know what to do. The best thing to probably do is to take it reasonably slow and not crash, and then just dial up the speed over time. For whatever reason I struggle with that, and I just constantly try to go faster and push it as far as I can. But I just wanted to show this second lap, and you'll see it's a very similar situation. I do not take that chicane well at all. But we learned from our mistake. And we got a new personal best, which is brilliant. Well, obviously it's not a brilliant time. Look, 18,748. But I am in a Williams, okay? And I'm new, so don't bully me. Right, so let's move on into the race action. We're going to set up a new Grand Prix. We're going to be George Russell in the Williams. And we are going to select Belgium once again. And as you can see, AI driver just on 60 difficulty, which is the first click of hard, and just 5 laps. Simulation damage, race starts manual, just, you know, checking all that stuff before we get in there. All the assists off, which is the elite proficiency. Everything manual, all good, and the weather, we just want to make sure it's clear because we don't want to deal with wet. That's a whole separate problem. So as the intro plays through, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was just a little bit of, well, there's a lot of different things to focus on when you're racing. So I think we need to take it step at a time because you're worrying about pitting, sorting your fuel mode out, and all that kind of stuff. And as you'll see in some of the clips, sometimes when I try to do that, it's too much for me. You got to take it one step at a time. You can see there's 2 DRS zones. That downhill section can be a bit naughty. No place like it.
Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline.
I like these little intros. Sorry, I'm just sat here and like enjoying it, you know, the build-up, the atmosphere. Well, I'll tell you what, that's, while I think of it, you know, that's the other thing I've been trying to figure out this week. I finally swapped to left-footed braking, so 1 foot per pedal. Originally, and in my last Sunday chill, I was driving as I would drive my own car, which is manual, so I have my left foot for the clutch, and I brake and accelerate with my right foot. So I've changed that round now, and it took a bit of getting used to, but we should be about there now. So we're just going to run through the lineup before we start. And we'll see where we are, because I can't even remember. Norris down in 14th. There's my teammate, Latifi, 15th. And I think, are we going to be last? Oh, 19th. 19th. Although, as we found in my first episode trying this game, my race starts are so bad, it doesn't really matter where I am. Alright. So we're looking around, testing the wheel, making sure everything's good. I do have a Logitech G27, if anybody wanted to know. Why would we want to know that? Yep, fair, fair. Right, so here we go. My first attempt today at a race. 5 red lights. And away we go. Okay, not a terrible start in the sense that we are relatively keeping up. We will go into 20th. And, right. Forgot the brake was on the left foot. Just mashing the brake with my right foot, which is not the brake. So, we're just going to forget that one. This is the real first race. Okay, lights out. Away we go. Let's see what we can do. We've only been doing time trials. This is my first time racing. Okay, second time, but first time, okay. Someone's lost some front wing or something already there on the track. But first time racing on this track. I've only done time trials. I've got to get used to driving around other cars. So we're going to go up into 7th. We're going to put overtake on. We're going to go up into 8th. Luckily, since I'm at the back, this kind of is like time trial. But suddenly, traffic. Traffic is before us. We go onto the grass slightly. I've got to find the balance because I'm trying to be confident. But then at the same time, look, you see I pull back. Because I don't want to go just rear-ending them when they brake. So I did brake a bit early. And we'll see how that affects me as time goes on, because I am going to be showing mostly highlights. We're not just going to sit here and watch me race time after time. This corner's given me some real problems, but everyone goes around it so slowly on this difficulty. That yeah, it's almost impossible to take it too quickly because everyone's in the way. This, on the other hand, yeah, wide. But we're still in it. Okay. We've got Kvyat in front of me. And it's okay so far. We thought about diving inside there, which was pretty confident, actually. And we seem to have actually negotiated the first lap. Whoa! Okay, we saved it. This is why you shouldn't speak before. Just wait until the end of the lap. But that's probably killed our chances of overtaking completely. That mistake. We're a little bit wide there as well, but that's okay. But we are still in. Now, I'm not sure how fast the AI is going to go through this chicane. Friggin' slow is the answer. We basically come to a complete stop. And
Be careful with the front wing. You've taken some minor damage.
even slower than I thought. Collision with Latifi. Both my front wings damaged. We decided to just carry on anyway. But this is the problem. This is what I'm scared of. People just braking when I'm expecting them to be going a bit faster. And that happens. So anyway, we negotiate the rest of that lap. We are still in P18 and we decide that I also wanted to learn how to pit. So, like, you know, practice using the pit menu. So you saw me there as I'm coming towards the end of the lap. Said box this lap. Just need to negotiate the chicane. Luckily I see where the pit is because look, the entrance is over here. Now, this needs improving. I'm driving so slow and then I'm like, wait, where's the line? Oh, pause. Oh. But we'll see. As time goes on, in this video, we will see how I begin to adapt to racing life. So we're getting a new front wing on. Obviously, there's only 5 laps, so this just eliminates us from even possibly winning at all. That's not a problem, because we're just practicing. Now, right now, I'm wondering why I'm not gaining speed. The pit limiter's still on. Suddenly it comes off, and we nearly go into a spin.
DRS is now enabled.
But DRS is enabled. Somehow, if we look at the minimap on the left side, you can see us going just past the Sector 1 mark. I don't think we'll be getting DRS. I don't think. But here we are now on lap 3. And you can see, as we try to go faster to catch up, we take more wing damage. And this is what concerns me about, well, and what I want to improve upon is you try to push it harder, you take wing damage, and potentially you're going to screw up your whole race. And then I can't corner properly because of the wing damage, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm all over the place. And the end result.
Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.
But you can see it doesn't take much to take this wing damage. And then once you take the wing damage, I know this is only a 5-lapper, so it would be different in a proper length Grand Prix. But once you take that wing damage, you are just in so much trouble. Alright. Way wide on this clip. Obviously this is a new race, but you can see I'm trying to be aggressive. I'm trying to race. We do actually manage to get into P18. Now, the problem is I'm too scared to brake and go slowly because I don't want to be overtaken. Net result. This is something that I've got to get used to, where you just got to stay calm. Like, do the overtake by all means. Granted, it was a bit of a dangerous place, but then you've just got to drive calmly. So, in this particular race, I was like, right, we'll have another go at pitting. Which I think I've been kind enough to edit out for you. Well, at least you don't have to watch the whole drive in. You can see I stopped a bit closer to the line, which is an improvement. We get our new front wing. I'm ramming the RPM far too high, but I bring it down. We're a bit slow getting off. I messed up there. But immediately, pit limiter off. It's a bit dodgy getting out of here, because if you cross that line, you're in trouble. So, but we did it. And we take off to just try and basically reduce the arrears. You can... Oh, this... Look, he's like, oh, use overtake. Look, too much for me. I'm thinking about using the overtake. Because the race engineer's like, oh, you've got max overtake, switch it on. And it just sends me into a... It's just my brain is processing turning on the overtake, thinking about which button to press, and I just go off the track. And so this is why I think you've got to really take it step by step. It's too much. Trying to drive when you're new to the game, and then also thinking about using the overtake and stuff when you're not super comfortable yet, I think it can be a bit much. But anyway, we can see we're 29 seconds behind Raikkonen. And we are on lap 2. We've got our new wing, but obviously we're like 30 seconds odd behind because of the pit stop. Now, if we move forward in time a wee smidgen to the last lap, you can see we've actually reduced it to 23 seconds. Which isn't bad, when considering. I mean, this is a terrible chicane and an end to the race. But the reason I kept going was to try and reduce that time and just to drive, like, it's just practice, isn't it? Just driving the rest of the track a bunch of more times in a situation where you might take damage. Because don't forget, in time trial mode, there isn't any damage. So I want that to be at stake when I'm driving and trying to learn to drive carefully. Because you don't want to fall into the trap of just constantly trying to go too fast, not worrying if you hit a wall, you know. So we had that problem with the front wing, but eventually we did actually finish. And also, if you take a look, here's look at my fastest lap, 152.554. That's actually faster than quite a few people in the bottom half. Lando Norris in 11th, I've got a faster best lap than him. And that's also the reason I wanted to finish the race, because that's quite an encouragement. I wanted to see if I was just driving, you know, lap for lap there, how close would I have been? And obviously Lando Norris is in a McLaren. I'm in a Williams. It's terrible. Now, I know the difficulty's not that high, but it proves that I can drive at the pace required on this track at this difficulty. So, let's go into another clip where you can see I've navigated the entire first lap. Almost. Need to learn my lesson there. And we come into the final chicane. Everything's been fine. We're still at the back of the pack. Final chicane. Bump. Front wing again. There you go. Yeah, mind that front wing. Basically screwed. And then, you know, for some ungodly reason, I decide that I can just go up the inside of everyone and then hit Latifi and lose the left front wing completely. But I soldier on. Purely, it's mostly just practice and experimenting at this point. But you can see, basically, I'm being too aggressive. That's the problem I'm having. Now, I think I can take Latifi here. So I go on the outside. This is going to be interesting with no front wing. But we do get the move done. That said, we can't turn. We can't turn enough because we've lost the front wing, so we're all over the place. Oh no, and we've booped him again. And now we're being overtaken and we're back in last place. Oh gosh. So now I'm trying to fiddle with the menu. And because I'm trying to fiddle with the menu... There you go. Okay, that's not the menu I wanted. We have no front wings and I basically just petulantly gave up there. So that's the other thing. The reason I've included that clip, and there might be another clip, I'm not sure, I can't remember now, is... Oh god, look at that. There's no one near me and I've just clipped the wall. And that's basically... We're basically done now. Look at it, it's screwed. And I'm just going through the menus like, oh my gosh. But the reason I was oh yes, look at the tyre. Oh, look at the tyre. Yeah, I don't think you even really want to see how this ends. Yeah, just don't worry about it. So, moving on to the next one. I know I had a half-finished thought, but let's just watch this clip first. So, first lap, we're on Gasly's tail. Bang. Done. Race done. So, forget that. Let's move on. I'm trying to make the point that you're not careful enough. Oh my gosh. And then, again, we're trying to be too quick. If you don't show enough care, it doesn't really matter. Like, you've tried to go faster to catch up, and you've just wrecked your whole race in one mistake. Oh, and here's another example of me looking at the menus, and then, before I know it, I'm heading towards the wall. So I literally just... I just put my foot down once I realised it was too late. So, but yeah, I wanted to include these clips just to show the kind of mistakes that I was making. Trying to mess around with the menus, and now we're finally starting to get into some clips where good things happen now. You can see we've got 2 green sectors. I waited for the right moment to pounce, making sure I got a good exit off that final bend there into the 3rd sector. And then I've just taken Latifi, easily. No dramas. But we go into the chicane so hard because we're trying to stay in front of him that this happens. And we nearly take front wing damage. So... it's the main problems I'm seeing at the moment is a combination of trying to go too fast to catch up, and then getting even more panicked once I get in front of someone, and just trying to go even faster to keep in front. You see, as a new player, these are the kind of things that I keep running into in my mind, where it's quite hard just to stay relaxed and drive sensibly. And I think that's the main thing to take away so far for me, is it's all about patience. Oh, look at that. Sold the dummy there. Am I going to get him on the outside? Of course I am. Of course I am. Do you see that? But again, overdoing it a bit. Trying just to calm down. It's still a bit wild. I'm really worried about the fact he's right behind me, and you can see it causes me to completely overshoot this corner. And before we know it, we've lost the place again. And there, wouldn't you know it, front wing damage.
Okay, you have some front wing
Now,
damage, but not
part of the problem is exacerbated because I'm practicing on a 5-lap Grand Prix. Obviously... Oh, look, it went wide. I was just like, well, let's see what happens. But yeah, the problem is exacerbated by it only being 5 laps. Obviously, in a longer Grand Prix, you've got more time, and the other people will be stopping anyway, you know, to change tyres and whatnot. And you've got more time to make a race of it if you do have wing damage. But the point I was trying to make is that you can really screw yourself up if you don't just show a bit of patience. That's what I need to learn. Just patience and care. When you can, just drive like you do in time trial. And if there's someone in front of you, you don't even have to drive that fast. So anyway, let's get off that point, move on to the latest clip. We can see I'm actually in P16 on the first lap. I've had a great start now. And this is all from my play session this morning. So you can see that I want to see how I improve. Now I do take that corner a bit shakily, but we correct it. You can see someone in our rear view mirror. I think it's Raikkonen. It is. We've actually got Lando Norris in front of us, and we're reasonably sticking with him.
all right. We're looking good so far.
Yeah, looking good so far. He is going to try and take our teammate Latifi now. I think successfully, yes. Whoa! And we nearly wipe out Latifi and ourselves. But you can see this is so much better at the moment. I'm driving in traffic, driving around people, and I'm just... It took a few mistakes, but I'm just starting to calm down and just drive and think about when the best times to try and overtake are, like this stint here. Just make sure you get a good exit, and then it's easy. Ish. Oh, it's wheel to wheel, but it's fine. And I think that's one of the things for me as I go on this journey, and I'm documenting this almost for myself to make me think about. And we do we lock up, but we did take the chicane in a far more sensible way. Is I want to think about what I'm doing wrong and really put a focus on just trying to correct it. And in this case, oh, a little tap there. It is consistency and just being calm. You don't need to fully change the way you drive. You just need to... I mean, the irony is you can slow down compared to your time trial. Most of the time, because there's traffic. Now, obviously, on higher difficulties, they will be going faster. But you can see we're having a great race so far. It's lap 2. We're on the back of Norris. We're in P15. We've been driving far better. We overcook that corner a bit, but we don't go nuts. We make sure that we just rescue it. We've still got a green sector 1, so it's better than lap 1. A bit of a lock up there, but we're okay. But at the moment, this is crazy difference. Like, if you go back and compare the first clips, where every time the car was near me, it was like front wing damage. Thought about diving inside there. Norris defends. And again, we're kind of lining up this sector at the end. Hoping that we can get our boot down and find an opportunity. It looks like they might just have too much pace for us. We have got overtake engaged now. I'm trying to use overtake where possible, though you'll notice it's run out. Alright, now let's just keep it calm in the chicane. You can see... Oh, I've spun out. I've spun out after I said you can see, but did you see how I was just calmly behind him? Made sure to leave enough space so that he wasn't gonna... That wasn't gonna happen. But that's the thing. I make that first mistake, and it snowballs into then I get a bit more rash and a bit more desperate to make the place back, and that happens. And there's no need for it, and that is something I need to work on and cut out. That kind of desperation. We are in DRS zone though, so we've managed to keep close enough to get DRS there. This is later in the same race, the final lap actually. I think the point here was just showing that despite that mistake, I didn't come in for a pit. So I literally just nursed the damage, which is why we've fallen behind and Latifi's 8 seconds in front. But I just wanted to show that I still just drove the rest out and finished a lot closer. 7.9 seconds I think it was there. A lot closer to last place, even with the damage. And I didn't make any more, you know, silly mistakes trying to go too fast. That's the improvement I want to see. I want to just focus on a few things and improve them over time.
A difficult race then on one of the all-time classic circuits.
Yeah, we don't we don't need to see Ferrari celebrating. We're good.
Again, an excellent performance at
We're
today's
good. We're good.
There's
Move on.
certainly a- So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver?
Lewis Hamilton, fastest lap in that one. As you can see, my fastest lap is not good. Bearing in mind I only drove the beginning of the race with an undamaged car, and then I spent a lot of that time in traffic. That's the only reason I came to this screen, is I just wanted to see out of interest what lap I'd managed with the damage. So, here we are again, taking all the lessons on so far. Oh, we drifted there. Oh, we hung on that curb. But we're actually catching the pack here, which is surprising in our car. We've got overtake engaged, but now we need to be careful. But look at this. Now that was a bit rash at the end, but that is a crazy difference where I actually just went on the outside.
Good start. Keep it up.
Yeah, I just took them all. Calmly. Now we're getting a bit big for our boots, I'll be honest. But we're still okay. We're trying to just keep to our part of the track. Did have to brake a bit hard there to make sure we didn't hit Raikkonen, but that's okay. Nice. That was a bit cheeky. That was a bit cheeky, but we managed it. That could have easily gone wrong. And now we have Lance Stroll in front of us. Now we need to be a bit careful. Look how close we are. Oh, no.
Mind that front wing.
Oh, that's such a shame.
Damage. A new strategy is available.
I don't know why he didn't put his foot down there, though, to be fair. I mean, even with that light damage, we're still going to take him. Ooh, it's a bit rough. Can we do it? We're at a bad angle here. We're going to cut across him, but we do get in front of him. Which is impressive. I'm glad. I'm glad to see these signs. Like, now I'm watching it back. That chicane's a bit dodgy, but we're just going to keep in front. We're holding P14. Now, I know it's only over a couple of laps, but then I've gained like 6 positions in 2 laps, which obviously in a Grand Prix, it's probably not going to be necessary. And it was all for nothing.
A lot of wing damage. Box for a new one.
All for nothing. This is why I leave these clips in, okay?
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
All that hard work over 2 laps, thrown away immediately. Just by trying to go too fast. Okay, that's nice though. Straight up into P19. We forced Kvyat out the way. Now we've got Latifi, our teammate, in front of us. And let's see how we drive without taking damage. Now that we're in traffic. Oh, it looks like we're just going to take him straight away before we've even engaged overtake. We don't even need overtake. We engage it now to see if we can catch the rest of the pack. Are we going to... Oh! Okay, we overshot the chicane. Good news is... Okay, bad news. The good news is that it was nice just to react and make sure we pulled around Gasly there. The problem was, I then forgot about Gasly, and I've just done the same thing there. Being a little bit over-aggressive with the front of my car is the long and short of it.
Nice move. Good job.
Nice move. Okay. Now, first lap again. I promise we're not going to see that many more mistakes and accidents. First lap again, and now I am trying to race. The comparison between this and even... I tried a Grand Prix the other night after I got done playing Time Trial. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't drive anywhere near anyone without messing up. So, like, this is such a huge stride forward for me. Are we going to try and take Gasly? I think we are. Carefully. Oh, Latifi as well. It's brave up the outside. And we've pulled it off. I can't stress to you what an improvement that is. But the lesson is still there. It's all for nothing when I inevitably screw it up. But so far, we're looking good. Not going to hit Kvyat. Let's make... Oh, please tell me this isn't a clip where I do something crazy at the inside. It's not good. See, patience. We're learning to just be patient and not try silly overtakes. Okay. So we're in P18. On lap 2. I dread to think what we're going to try at this corner. But you remember that first clip where I like braked really early to make sure I didn't hit anyone at the first corner? Really adapting far better now. Oof, that was a bit wide. I'm not surprised they drove away from me there, but that's okay. As long as we're keeping our position. A lot of it is also kind of throttle and brake control with your feet. Just learning how far you can push it, you know, without just suddenly lurching into somebody. Well, this is a really nice drive so far. Okay, as long as nobody that's good at the game is watching, this is a really, really nice drive so far. We're going to dive up the inside, or we thought about it. But again, we pulled back. We showed a bit of restraint. We don't have to take him now. And I think that's what the clips show that I'm learning slowly. I'm still going to make a mistake. And sometimes I still get a bit frantic. But overall, I took the other two on the last lap. And now look. Now this actually scares the heck out of me. I feel anxious watching this. We were in 16th. Look at that. If I just did that every lap, 2 positions a lap, you're laughing.
Okay, DRS is now available.
Alright, we now have DRS. Oh no, I'm going up the inside. Oh no! I thought we'd learned! Yeah! I'm not surprised I did that. I was so frustrated with myself. Why have I done that? Everything was good. Everything was absolutely fine. Oh, why would you do that? You see what I mean? I know I'm banging on about it. Oh dear. Dear oh dear. Right. I don't think there's any need to just waste your time showing more clips of me crashing. But I think we can definitely see a lot of improvement. Hopefully. Hopefully you see that as well. And I think for new players, those are the main things. Right, first of all, forget that middle menu. You don't need it for these 5 laps. There was some clips that I haven't shown you of me just messing around with the fuel modes. Being like, oh, I'm gonna go down to lean during the corners, you know, and then I'm gonna go up into rich, and just don't go there. You're not at that level. Secondly, patience. Oh my gosh, the impatience. The kind of desperate, oh, I must get in front of the next guy. That cost me so many races, like race attempts. Me just trying to overtake needlessly. It's nuts. I have to pull back on that. You saw it there. Did some wonderful overtakes in great spots. And then I just threw it all away. I don't know why. And finally, when you do get in front of someone and you're in traffic, don't start overdoing corners. I do that so much. So much. Like I get in front of someone and then I feel like I can't even slow down for a corner. I don't know why. So those are the things I'm looking at. Those are the things I've identified from this exercise. You know, maybe this video is going to be really boring. I don't know. but it was a really good exercise for me just to sit down and look at the things that I'm still struggling with. I'm obviously improving, definitely, but I'm still struggling with those things, and then hopefully in another week's time, I'll be even further ahead. So that's the goal. If you stayed with me, if if this was helpful for you, and you enjoyed seeing my progress and my thoughts, then thank you very much for sticking with me. And yeah, that's about it. So have a fantastic Sunday wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one.